Welcome back to Chapel Time, everyone. Before we get started with our story, I want you to think about what the meal is called that you eat in the beginning of the day. Yes, that's right, breakfast. And what about the meal that you eat in the middle of the day? Yes, lunch. What about the meal that you eat at the end of the day? You're right, it's called dinner. Well, another name for dinner is supper, and that's what our lesson is about today. It's called The Last Supper. Right now, I want you to push pause, go run and grab your Bible and find page 462. We're going to read the story, The Last Supper. Jesus knew that his time had come for him to leave the world. He wanted to share his last Passover meal together with his 12 very special friends called the disciples. Jesus loved his friends and wanted to show them his love in a very caring way. As the friends got ready for the meal, Jesus put water into a big bowl. And he got down on the floor. He wanted to wash the feet of each of his disciples. When it was Peter's turn, Jesus said, "It's your turn." And Peter said, "You will never wash my feet."
"You will never wash my feet."
Jesus replied, "Oh, Peter, you don't understand what I am doing now, but soon you will." He washed Peter's feet. Peter loved Jesus so much that he said, "Then don't just wash my feet,
"Then don't just wash my feet,
but wash my hands also."
but wash my hands also.
Peter wanted to be as close to Jesus as possible. Well, as they were eating, Jesus told his disciples some sad news. He reminded them that soon one of them would betray him. One of them was going to tell people who don't like Jesus where he was so that they could take him away. Well, this upset the disciples, and each one of them said, "I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. It's not me you're talking about."
"It's not me you're talking about."
"Is it?"
"Is it?"
Well, when Judas said this, Jesus gently replied, "Yes, Judas, you will betray me." And then Jesus picked up a loaf of bread, and he blessed it, and he broke it, and he gave a piece to each of his disciples. And he said, "Take this bread and eat it. You will remember me always." And then he had a very special cup with drink in it, and he said, "Take a sip. Remember me always when you do." When the meal was over, Jesus and his friends went to a place called the Mount of Olives. Jesus said sadly, "Soon you will leave me." Peter felt bad, and he said, "Even if all of the others leave,
"Even if all of the others leave,
I won't."
I won't."
Well, Jesus looked at his dear friend and he said quietly, "Before the sun rises, you will pretend that you don't even know me 3 times. Peter said, "Jesus,
"Jesus,
I love you too much
I love you too much
to ever do that to you."
to ever do that to you."
And all of the disciples said the same thing. I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. Jesus,
"Jesus,
we love you.
we love you.
We won't ever leave you.
We won't ever leave you."
The end. And now it's time for our song. Jesus is God's special son, special son, special son. Jesus is God's special son. He ate a special meal. He served his friends bread and juice, bread and juice, bread and juice. He served his friends bread and juice and shared some special news. See you next week.